Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, the Venusian Bull, and welcome to my channel. And we're going to be doing a different type of video today. I'm going to be talking about confidence and assertiveness and motivation and getting your dreams accomplished and goals accomplished. So in relation to astrology, we're going to be talking about Mars, and I'm going to be talking about my personal placement of Mars and how it has been difficult for me to assert myself. And maybe you guys can relate to it. I like to call this my Mars and Cancer rant. Yay! Okay, so if you're new to this channel, welcome. You know, if you've already been on this channel, it means that you've been just totally enthralled with my Planets in the Houses series, and we're almost done with that. So thank you so much for returning. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And let's get into it. All right, so I really wanted to do this video because I've really been dying to discuss this particular topic, and I'm going to relate it to a variety of different things. But I wanted to talk about Mars, in particular, my Mars placement, and how it has positively and negatively affected me, and how just Mars and Cancer in general, it's really one of those placements that you really need to thoroughly understand. And something that you really just need to know deep down in your heart that you're not going to be able to be like all of these other people out on the streets. Like, get up and go, like, hustler, I'm a hustler, I'm a hustler, homie, I'm a hustler. You're not going to be able to be doing all of that, okay? That is not the Mars and Cancer spirit, okay? And I have to learn this. And as somebody who wants to be, still kind of wants to be an entertainer, but I do, like, I am a creative. I'm doing YouTube videos and things like that. And, you know, I want to be, you know, like a host, like a personality influencer. I want to be someone who talks to the people to give them knowledge, give them healing, all of that. So somewhere in there, I have to not be shy. You know, I have to not be reserved. And I am a singer, so I be getting up on the stage being like, and I will always love you. Not like that necessarily, but you get the idea. I'll be doing that type of stuff. It's kind of difficult when you want to do these extroverted type of things and you have a very introverted Mars placement, okay? Now, when your Mars is also extroverted, but you have like an introverted sun, it's not as difficult to put yourself out there. I say Beyonce is like the perfect example of this. Her sun is in Virgo, but her Mars is in Leo. So like, duh, she is Sasha Fierce on the stage, or Beyonce, or whatever combination of Beyonce, Sasha Fierce that she is now. That's why when she get on stage, it's no holds bar, and you know, it's release your inhibitions because feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it. What's the TikTok version? But you know how I bust out into song. Anyway, but yeah, that's why she is so like fearless and open and just, you know, full of her inhibitions when she's on stage, because she has that Mars and Leo. That don't got shit to do with that Sun in Virgo. If it was just Sun in Virgo that was determining that, she would be in her own little corner, in her own little chair, making sure everything was perfect. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I have an Earth Sun as well. I have Sun in Taurus. But my Mars is not in a fire sign like hers that can kind of offset that cool, calm, collected Sun and Taurus energy. No, my Mars is in a water sign. And of all places, it's in Cancer. Okay, Mars in Cancer is actually in the fall because it's exalted in Capricorn. So Mars does not actually like to be in Cancer, okay? And I always say that I really like to give like the positive aspects of a placement as well as the negative aspects of a placement because I like balance. You know, I'm a Libra moon and stuff like that. So we like balance over here, okay? We don't like to be one-sided. But when you are living it, sometimes it's a little less difficult to be objective, especially with your Mars in Cancer, because Mars in Cancer energy takes everything personal. It's just one of them days, every day, that a girl goes through. When I'm angry inside, all the time I want to take it out on you. See my ad-libs? Yeah, we're doing that today. So yeah, like, everything is subjective. It's hard to take ourselves out of the equation, even if it don't got shit to do with us, okay? Thankfully, I have the ability to be very self-aware of my personality and my natal chart, and like, okay, I am this, I'm that, like, these are my characteristics, these are my strengths, these are my weaknesses. I know where I'm lacking. And I'm honest with myself about that. I know my flaws. Like, if someone tells me you're being defensive, I'm like, I know, I'm aware. That's the difference between me and a lot of people that happen to have this placement. I understand its energy and I understand how it works. And for the most part, I'm able to control it, except for when it comes to the anger part. We'll get to that a little bit later. Okay? Mars and Cancer. Whoa, do they have a temper? And Mars is in my 8th house. So, just forewarning. So to go back to the confidence aspect, I was, I'm low-key telling y'all my business, but, I was talking to my therapist. I practice what I preach. How I say everybody should be in therapy, especially people with a lot of water energy, but really everybody should be in therapy, like, for real. So I was talking to my therapist and we had like a couple of sessions where I was talking about confidence or lack thereof and why I lack confidence. And because, she's not like well versed in astrology, so I can't like be like, well, it also has to do with the fact that I have Mars in Cancer and it's opposing my Neptune and Saturn and Uranus and it's conjunct my Chiron. So like we got a lot of issues going on with the Mars placement. My Mars is badly afflicted, but the saving grace of my Mars is that it is trine Pluto. Now, I really haven't completely seen the fruits of that labor yet. I'm going to be honest with you, but I think I will, because I think that it's going to have to deal with me being able to give back and pay it forward, because my Pluto is in the 12th house. You know what I'm saying? It's about being compassionate and healing and giving of myself and stuff like that. And it starts within, you know what I'm saying? So I gotta find it within first, So blessed that I don't have any real negative Pluto aspects. And the Mars trine Pluto, that is a great aspect. So it's kind of my saving grace to pull me through. I found my saving grace with Mars trine Pluto. I'm gonna roll with this singing today, y'all. I'm really finding the ways to, insert the music. As you can see, we cannot separate music from astrology. It's just impossible. Impossible. Okay, we're done. So with my Mars being in Cancer, my motivation level and my determination and my yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do it right and we're going to do it now and we're going to do it and we're going to just get it done and we're going to be like, woo! And I'm going to hustle and I'm going to knock on every door and I'm going to email every person and we're just going to get it and we're just going to do it and we're not going to take no for an answer. That is not how Mars in Cancer operates. I understand that these coaches that be online, or these people who have been able to make a success out of their lives doing whatever it is that they're doing, whether it be entertainment, whether it be a TV personality, reality show person, influencer, whatever. They talk about how they had to knock on all the doors and break down walls and barriers. I am not an Aries, okay? That is not where my Mars is. My Mars is not in a fire sign. So I approach things a little bit differently. And sometimes people don't really understand that. You know what I'm saying? I have to have a different approach to getting to where I am. But I will say that my Mars in Cancer, particularly my Mars opposing Neptune, right? Neptune is in Capricorn. So particularly my Mars opposing Neptune has really kind of like stopped me in my tracks of like being able to accomplish certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a lack of confidence a little bit. It's kind of like a lack of believing in yourself because Mars and Neptune are opposed. And there's something very beautiful about Neptune and spiritual and artistic and stuff like that. But when it's having challenging aspects, and in this case, it's a challenging aspect to my Mars. I mean, thankfully, it's not square my Mars because that would be even worse. Like, we can kind of deal with the oppositions, you know, because it helps for you to have balance. But Neptune doesn't have anything to do with being assertive, being aggressive, getting the job done. It doesn't have anything to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that it's opposing my Mars and my Mars is in Cancer, this is like, you know, my Neptune is in Capricorn, so it's not all water energy, but it's water and earth. So like Mars in Cancer is this real kind of laid back, I'm not doing shit unless I'm in the mood type of energy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like on a hiatus on my channel for so long. I was looking at my videos and I was noticing that one time after I did all of like the planets in the third house, I took a 4-month hiatus. And then I realized, oh, y'all really watching these videos and commenting and subscribing? Let me come back around and do these videos. So then I did the 4th house. And then for whatever reason, took a 6-month hiatus, okay? And this was all like during the quarantine. And let me just tell you, I had shit to do, okay? Like I have a whole full-time job. I got a whole full-time child. Like I gotta keep a roof over my head. Like I'm not just somebody who's like doing videos every day. Like the only reason I'm doing this video is because A, I'm in the mood. Mars and Cancer. I gotta look at my transits today because I never just like randomly do videos like this. I have a schedule, okay? And we have to adhere to it. Sun in the 6th house, do you hear me? Okay, so, so yeah, because I'm in the mood and I've been thinking about this topic for like so long. And also I don't have my son right now. So I was like, let me use this window of opportunity to kind of get a different type of video out. I've been doing this Planets in the Houses series for so long, and these have been the only videos that I'm doing. So I kind of want to like mix it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of trying to, you know, try something a little bit different so that you guys don't get bored and stuff like that. And you can get a little bit more of a taste of my personality and who I am and stuff like that. So like, this is why, and I realized when I came back, I was like, oh, once again, people are being engaging, they're subscribing, they're commenting, they're liking, like they like these videos. So I went ahead and did the 5th house, the 6th house, the 7th house. And then I got on my track that I am now. Once it got to the 8th house, I developed a formula and it started to, you know, blow up or whatever. And then I was able to monetize. And that was because of the consistency that I started doing. I was like, I gotta be consistent. So this is now a part of my routine. See, that's the thing about Mars and Cancer. If it's a part of your routine, because Mars and Cancer, we can do routines. And well, I can because I have Sun in Taurus. And also it's in the 6th house, which is the Virgo house. So we're capable. South Node in Virgo too. Child, man. Okay, so because I've become accustomed to a routine and it's giving me some type of like benefits, like a little bit, monetarily, but also like I really do enjoy your guys' comments and the fact that you say that the videos resonate with you and stuff, and you really connect with the stuff that I said. That's actually very motivating for me. I think another one of my issues has been over the course of time is that I haven't had the right motivation and validation from other people. And I know what you're going to say. You shouldn't wait for validation from others. You should seek validation within yourself because you should love yourself. Bullshit. Everybody wants validation from other people, okay? Especially when you got Libra energy. C'est moi, okay? So I have a Libra moon, okay? And we don't got like... Yes, I may seem like I don't need validation. Like I don't need you to tell me that you're doing really good at this. Keep up the great work. You're doing really great. I love to hear you sing. You're funny. You know what I'm saying? You're interesting and you explain it really well. Cause sometimes when I'm explaining these videos, I be all over the place, child. I know y'all can tell that I be all over the place. Like I be coming up with shit off the top of my head. If you see me doing the video, that means I'm thinking. Okay. We think like I'm thinking quick. You know, I do got that Gemini energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally spelling out all of my placements. So, you know, catch it here, catch it there, screenshot here, screenshot there. Can you catch me? Can't touch this. Okay. So yes, I'm all over the place. But yes, I do have Gemini energy too. That's why I talk with my hands. That's why I'm all over the place. This is why my ass belong on YouTube. Okay. Bless the Mars in Gemini because it gives me, that's not Mars in Gemini. That's not my placement. I have Mars in Cancer. Bless my Mercury in Gemini because that does give me the ability to be a little like take myself a little less seriously and be goofy and funny and all of that type of stuff. But it's not an aspect to my Mars. So that's not really what we're discussing. But you know what is an aspect to my Mars? The moon. I have moon square Mars, y'all. Yeah. The good thing about my moon square Mars is that because my moon is in Libra, which Libra is a very like logical sign. Like I said before, it's always looking to be balanced. It's always looking at both sides and stuff like that. We can kind of reason with the Mars in Cancer sometimes. It just depends on who wins out. Now, I will say this. Most of the time, the moon wins out because I don't waste my energy like dealing with people that I like don't know. Like if they upset me, I don't have time for this. But like if I know you and you're like, you know, an important person in my life and I feel the more comfortable I feel around you, the more you're going to see the Mars in Cancer. And I'm not so sure if that's like a good thing. You'll see the wrath of the Mars in Cancer because it's not pretty. Okay. And like I said before, it's in the 8th house. So, you know, when I get angry, a bitch see red and then she sees black. But you would never know that because I'm so cool, calm, and collected. Normally, it is like 2 people in the world that get that type of Mars energy. Okay. 2 people. A lot of people do get the defensive side of the Mars energy because sometimes I feel like I'm justified in, you know, being defensive. I like to see it as me explaining myself, but me explaining myself can come off as too defensive because once again, Mars and Cancer, we can take things too personally. And when people say this, but of course, if you are critiquing me or saying something about like my character or something like that, I'm gonna have something to say about it. I'm not just gonna be like, okay. I'm gonna be like, I know, I'm aware, but you're misunderstanding me and you're not hearing me. So this is why I'm explaining myself. If you think that's me being defensive, then that's fine. But before I explain myself, did you know where I was going? Did we know? Okay. So we're going to circle around back to the confidence thing, okay? And I'm going to specifically associate this with my music career. And we're putting this in quotes because it's kind of really not a career. I mean, I still pursue music. I'm still trying to do music. I'm still, you know, this band thing that I got going on is kind of on a hiatus. I don't know what's going on. Was in the process of going to be starting to get gigs and now I don't know. But trying to get into the music industry and not being the most like confident and headstrong, actually I'm kind of headstrong, but not the most like assertive person, like networking settings. And plus I'm an introvert. Like I am an introvert. It is different when I get up on stage and even there I'm still a little bit like, you know, I will bust out into song. Like I will do, you know, my cute little Mariah Carey. I will do that. That last one was pitchy. But we will do that on the stage. Okay. Am I busting it wide open quite like Meg the Stallion? Am I even busting it down like Beyonce? No, but that's only because I don't have a choreographer. You give me a choreographer and I practice that shit. Okay. And we will have a cute 8 count. Don't get it twisted. But otherwise, I'm just kind of standing up there with a mic and I'm just doing a cute little two-step depending on what I'm singing or whatever. If I'm singing a ballad, I'm just like, I'm doing all of that and whatnot. But it's different when I have to actually like interact with people. Like I have to be in a room with people and I have to schmooze and I have to sell myself. I'm not comfortable with doing that. And I have been doing a lot of things throughout my music career by myself. There have been periods of time where I have had assistance, like had help, like had a manager, had kind of like a mentor, like a promoter and stuff like that. But for the majority of the time, and those people kind of work as spokespeople for me, so I don't have to be the one doing the talking. I can just be the talent and get up on stage and perform. And that is honestly how I would prefer it to be, because it's not like I'm not capable of talking to people, because clearly, I'm articulate, I'm interesting. I know what I'm talking about. Like, I know what I want. I can say that. But if we're talking about being in a room with like 50 people and stuff like that and trying to introduce myself to this person, that person, that's like gives me anxiety. Like I can't, like networking gives me anxiety. It just does. I'm so much better in one-on-one settings. I've been told this numerous times that, oh, you're like pretty cool. Like I thought like you were mute. Yeah, because I'm a Scorpio rising and I'm protecting my energy wall. Okay. So yeah, that's another thing. I have like all of these things that are preventing me from coming out. I'm not coming out. Well, maybe on YouTube. Not like in like I'm announcing that I'm coming out as gay or anything like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just mean like, I don't know, coming out as an extrovert. And that's not going to happen. I think even if my confidence does increase over time, I will always be an introvert at heart. Because at heart, I like people. Like, I like the idea of people, you know what I'm saying? And like, relating to people and stuff like that. But I don't really like people. And it's like a big contradiction because I have a Libra moon, but it's in the 10th house, which is like the Capricorn house. So this is why I love to say that I like people, but I don't like people. It's so Capricorn. Like this is the way I am. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that energy is square my Mars. So it's like, do I feel like dealing with these people today? Like, do I want to do this? Like, even just to like go to like a birthday party or something like that. It'd be like, oh, do I feel like getting up? The only thing that makes me get up every day to go to work is the fact that I have to do it. Or like I'm not going to get a paycheck. That is the only thing that makes my ass get up at 6:30 in the morning so I can log in by 7:30. That is the only thing. I got a mortgage to pay. I got a child. I got responsibilities. I got bills. Okay. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? Can you pay my automobiles? If you did, then maybe we could chill. I don't think you do. Okay. So my confidence level is like not always where it needs to be when I want it to be there, even when it comes to me trying to stand up for myself. And that is where I really feel like that Mars opposite Neptune really rears its ugly head, when I really have to like stand up for myself and not take shit lying down. And sometimes I wait way too long or like never address the things that I need to address with certain people, or I may take it out on someone else that I'm more comfortable expressing myself around. And then that becomes a whole thing, because at some point I need to let it out. Like at some point I just need to let it out. I need to, let it rain and clear it out. And let it rain and clear it out. Chicken noodle soup. Okay, we're done. All right. But like sometimes I just have to do that. We have to add some humor in this video because this could have been a really depressing video, but we have to insert the humor because, what else can we do but to laugh about these things? I have a lack of confidence and self-esteem. We are working on it. Oh, did I mention the body image stuff? Oh, the body. Oh, Jesus. Body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. Sometimes I feel like I'm in my body, yaddy, 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 yaddy mood and stuff like that. I'm like feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. Like I put on my bathing suits when I was on my trip and I was like, Cute. Cute. Okay, there's still a gut there, but it's fine. And I'm trying to embrace the skin that I'm in and all of that cliche type of shit or whatever. But like the reality of the fact is that I'm not gonna have a body like Meg Thee Stallion. Okay, it's just like I'm not built that way unless I get surgery. And I'm not really trying to get surgery. It doesn't mean that it hasn't crossed my mind, but but I probably not. But I am interested into some of the non-invasive procedures, like the cool sculpting and other things that you could do with your stomach to get like the fat away. Because I'm one of those people. Again, this is because of my Mars and Cancer. Because Mars and Cancer literally has to deal with the stomach. That's where my weight goes. I eat one fry, 3 months pregnant. I kid you not. I kid you not. It's just in the stomach. Never goes to my ass, never to my hips, a little to my thighs. And I do have, big breasts, as you can see. You can't really tell right now, but whoo, and I go up here. Whoo, child. And the only reason why I look kind of thin is because I have on a bodysuit. Oh, thank the universe for bodysuits and high-waisted shorts and pants because they give me the illusion of having an hourglass figure. It's a lot of illusions going on now. You can thank Neptune in Pisces for that, and that will continue for a few more years, you guys. All right, all of the fakeness, all of the, the Instagram filters and all of that. So all of the, is this real? Is this retouched? Did they get surgery? Yeah, that's going to continue. Yeah, we got a few more years for that. And then Neptune in Aries is going to be like, halt, show me the real. But then it's still going to be fake because Neptune is still something that's always going to be like too idealistic about Neptune. So even being in a straightforward direct sign like Aries, it's still going to kind of not act right. But back to the topic at hand, Mars and Cancer. So I just am trying to find ways to accept this placement, this Mars and Cancer placement, and work with it to my advantage. Okay, I told y'all I was going to mention the good parts of Mars and Cancer like at the very beginning of the video, and we're at like almost 27 minutes and I haven't done that yet. So we will do that now. The good thing about Mars and Cancer is the passion. Okay, when I get passionate about something, I'm passionate about it. Like talking about it, doing it. Like astrology, I'm so passionate about discussing astrology. Like, it's so like, this is why this has to be the type of like work I do, the things that I do every day. You know what I'm saying? I even do tarot readings for myself, every day. So Mars and Cancer is very mystical. It's very magical, just like all the water signs. And my Mars is in the 8th house. So anything that has to deal with occult or, divination, any type of divination practices, metaphysical practices, that makes me excited. That makes me passionate. It's something that I enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? Also, of course, the music, Cancer energy, they love music. They love moods and nostalgia, and certain music reminds them of things. And it's like, that you remind me of the love that I once knew. So it's like very like that. This is why every time I'm saying something, I'm thinking of a song because it just always kind of like ties in. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that I kind of course, I just mentioned the music, but also just the like tenacity and the kind of like never giving up attitude. Never gonna give it up. Never gonna let you down. Because Mars and Cancer, people don't know this about Cancer energy, but they have a lot of tenacity and they're going to really fight for what they want. They're protective of their children, okay? And their families, don't cross them, okay? Like, for real, like, if you say something about my family or somebody say something about my family or something like that, I'm pulling up. You about to see the ghetto. Like, and I feel like the universe knows not to try me when it comes to like my child and things like that. Like, and they know, like, sometimes I'll be looking at some of these families that, unfortunately are like victims of a family member of their being victims of police brutality and stuff like that. And the way that they, pray and forgive the killers and all types of stuff. And I was like, I would not be doing all of that. Okay. Like, first of all, I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in organized religion. I'm spiritual, but that doesn't mean you won't see these hands, okay? Kind of another negative trait of Mars in Cancer. You know who else has Mars in Cancer? Cardi B. Yeah. So just to put it into perspective in terms of the taking things, personally, but she's very passionate about what she does, okay? And that is something that I really love about Mars and Cancer. The passion drives the work, because Mars does have to deal with work. So Mars and Cancer people, in order to feel fulfilled in life, you really have to be doing something that you're passionate about in terms of kind of your everyday kind of work and things like that. And just even things that you have to do that's uncomfortable, I would say find something that you like in it. Find something that's kind of passionate, something that's kind of worthwhile about it. Even if it's something trivial. For instance, you gotta go to the store or something like that or whatever, and you have to get groceries. I hate grocery shopping. But then I'm thinking about how that food is going to taste good though. Mars and Cancer, we love food. Okay, and Mars and Cancer people typically would be really good cooks. I'm not, although we're working on it. I got, a membership to HelloFresh. We doing that right now. I needed to save some money. That's one of the main reasons. DoorDash was just getting all my money. And I just love food so much. I just love to eat. Mars and Cancer, Sun and Taurus over here. Diets, we've tried. Okay. And I love my meat. So we're not going vegetarian or vegan. Sorry. I ain't sorry. I ain't sorry. I ain't sorry. Nigga, nah. Okay, so that's another thing, and that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. We love food, we love family, we love camaraderie. I happen to do a lot of things, with my family. I just went on a family vacation. We try to do family vacations every year. We kind of do things big for Thanksgiving and Christmas, where we kind of get together for occasions that don't always have to deal with something negative like a funeral, even though that is also something that we got together for recently. But, people do pass on and transition, and that's just a natural part of life. But some, families, they only get together when there's a funeral. So I am fortunate enough to be in a family that values family. And Mars and Cancer really loves that. So if you happen to have this placement and you don't kind of have that camaraderie with your family and things like that, kind of search for a different family, because family is important. Even though, I don't like people, I don't even be liking people to come to my house. Somebody knocks on the door, I'll be wanting to get my knife. For real, I'll be like, who that is? The way nobody comes to my house, if I'm not expecting a package or I'm not expecting you, I get startled if I get a knock on my door. Come on, knock on my door. Not, we've been waiting for you. Not. Okay, so don't even do that. But aside from that, I like to go over other family members' houses. I like to, play games with family, have game nights and all these things. We were acting a fool when we were on vacation, doing lip sync battles, karaoke, doing New Edition choreography and stuff like that. That is the stuff that I like to do. That is fun. That will get me out of my shell to a certain extent, with a little inebriations and things like that, little drink, little smoke, you know what I'm saying? Get me right up and partying, in these streets. But yeah, those are the types of things that, I enjoy. So even I'll be earlier this year, I was going to a paint and sip with my family. I'd be and I was I don't feel like going, but I already paid for it. But then I get there and I'm oh, look, there's wine. Oh, somebody brought music and stuff like that. Oh, so we're painting and sipping. And my picture came out pretty good. That is a Mars and Cancer activity, if I ever knew. If we had hors d'oeuvres, they only had cupcakes for people whose birthdays it was and stuff like that. But if they would have had hors d'oeuvres, that was great. The paint and sip, that is a good activity for Cancer, because you can have your little sip of wine, have a little drink, and you can do something artistic. You know what I'm saying? I think people forget that Cancer energy actually really likes doing artistic things and, creative things, especially when it's like incorporating like family. It's very, we are family, like a giant tree branching out towards the sky. So I really like that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a little sentimental, Cancer is all sentimental. Oh, remember these memories and memories. All these memories. It's like The Way We Were. I heard it in Sex and the City, but I don't remember the words. So yeah, it's from the movie The Way We Were. So yeah, that's kind of like the positive aspects of Cancer. Find your family. You know what I'm saying? Find your avenue of what, makes you happy. Also, Mars and Cancer has to deal with women, right? Cancer has to deal with the mother, right? So it could be a little bit of conflicts with the mama. A little bit. That could happen with the Mars and Cancer energy, okay? And just a little bit of like the button heads, especially if it's like a mother-daughter relationship, because it's like a lot of feminine energy with that. And it's just like, oh, I just need to break free and, you know what I'm saying? I need to just like be like Free Willy, okay? So that's another thing to think about. I don't want to go into detail about this too much because I don't want to like expose myself too much, but Mars and Cancer, they do throw hands. Like they get angry. They get angry if you piss them off. If you, like I said before, you attack their family, you attack their character, and like, yeah, really their family and their character. And like, yeah, you get under their skin. And Cancer is a very sensitive energy. And like Mars has to deal with being assertive and aggressive. But a lot of the times, the only time that assertiveness and aggression is activated is when you're angry. And that's kind of like, that's like the catch-22 with Mars and Cancer, because it can be activated. Like it can go from 0 to 100, baby, real quick, okay? The problem is that it kind of goes from 0 to 100 real quick for the wrong reasons. And it's usually because you're triggered. And the thing about it is that people know when you're sensitive, especially the people who really, really know you. And even people who don't really know me like that, like, because I don't really speak unless I'm spoken to, because I'm like so reserved and stuff like that, you're not going to say nothing foul to me because I'm not releasing my energy to you. I'm not releasing myself to you. But yeah, the anger thing is kind of an issue in some instances. And, this is why I need, I'm not saying I need anger management, because it really only happens with certain people. That's how I know I don't need, well, really one person, if I'm being truthfully honest. Mars has to deal with men, so do the math. Yeah, so we could, whatever. So because it doesn't happen with everybody, I don't think I have like issues like that. You could think I'm in denial. Mars and Cancer people tend to be in denial, but that's really more like Mars and Pisces that be in denial. But, go figure. Mars and Cancer can be in denial, whatever. But so that's kind of like my experience with Mars and Cancer. I also tend to have difficult relationships with other women, but the discussion about friends, how many of us have them? Friends, my friends, real friends, but I don't have no friends. Oh, I have friends. Me, myself, and I, that's all I got in the end. The friendship stuff, that's a conversation for another day. We're going to save that for a whole nother video because I got a whole lot to say about that. But Mars and Cancer, once again, Cancer deals with women, and there's a bit of this is like a disconnect a little bit with other women. Like I really want to relate to other women. You know what I'm saying? My moon in Libra, Libra also has to deal with women. Libra has to deal with like the opposite sex, but the moon has to deal with women. So we contradicting all over the place. Like my whole chart is a contradiction. That's all natal charts are. This is why you need balance. This is why you need to understand your energy. This is why you need to get readings. This is why you need to relook at your chart and relook at your chart. Look at the transits that are happening and see what the hell is going on. Okay? All right. So with Mars in this placement, it does create this anger. It does create this like very passionate sense of being. Like, I am capable of crying at the drop of a hat, but never at during the instances that you think I'm gonna cry, like funerals. Like, I rarely cry at funerals, and that may actually be because my Mars is in the eighth house. I don't know. It's like something about, Mars in the eighth house. It's like we know that death is coming. There's one funeral that I have cried at, and it was like a very, 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 very unfortunate situation. And I was very young, and I had been to funerals prior to that, but I welled up. But I will say this: I cry most when I'm angry or when I'm happy. When I'm sad, I don't know. I don't necessarily cry. I don't know if I really get sad. I feel like that's an emotion that I don't necessarily feel that much. I feel anger. I feel happiness. I feel stressed. I feel anxiety. Oh, when I have anxiety, sometimes I may cry. Um, Actually, no. I've cried when I'm sad. Let me rephrase that. Sometimes I just could be scrolling on Instagram or something like that, and I see something like, I'm like really weird. It's like sometimes I get more emotional about the passing of people I don't know than like the people that I do know or that are closer to me and my family. Is that a bad thing? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, there are people that I know, and this is going to be another topic for another conversation because this video is getting way too goddamn long, but we're going to have to edit the shit out of this video. But like, I have this thing where if in real life I don't have a personal connection with you, it's difficult for me to feel like emotions at a funeral and things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't be feeling emotions deeper than I've ever dreamed of now. We did that high note already, so we're not going to go back to that. But yeah, so, I'm not to speak to my therapist about that. Because I just want to know, I don't feel like it's that uncommon, but I don't think that it's something that, people like to admit. And it's not to say that I'm not sad. It's just that in funeral settings, it's difficult for me to bring myself to cry. Like, I do not go to weddings like that, okay? But when a relative of mine got married a couple years ago and I was in the wedding, a cousin of mine got married, I cried, and that was happy tears. And I think it's because that's something that I don't experience that much. Like, I don't go to weddings like that. I don't see that type of interaction and that, love and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I've been to way more funerals than weddings. So it's just kind of like going to a funeral is kind of like going through the motions. Like, I feel horrible. I feel horrible saying it, but it's like the truth. Like, I was more emotional at the wedding than I was at the funeral. You know what I'm saying? And for the record, I don't like necessarily enjoy being a bridesmaid. Like, I probably won't do that again. But the end result turned out really, really nice. And it was a really, really beautiful wedding. And that was the first wedding that I was in since I was like 5. So I was happy to be a part of it. Mars and Cancer, family stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I forgot to talk about the relationship between women and I. It's stagnant. It's not that great, which is why I don't really have a lot of friends, or like really any friends. Like, I think I have acquaintances, but I don't really have friends. This like Scorpio energy, Mars in the 8th house energy, it's really like a turn off. It could really because it's a lot of Scorpio, Plutonic, like that type of energy, right? And then I do got Mars trine Pluto, so it's like a little bit of that power. So I do feel like people are intimidated by me, and it's really just, it's more fear than anything. Yeah. Mars and Cancer are afraid. You know what I'm saying? They're afraid of people getting in to that crab, cracking the shell. You know what I'm saying? So they appear to have like this hard exterior, but they're very easy to crack. We're very, very sensitive. We're very, very emotional. And we take things to heart. And the quicker you realize that that is who you are, that is not something that you can change. What you can change is kind of how you react to that initial notion, because Mars does have to deal with action. What can you do? Especially what can you do physically with your body? You know, I do like to dance. So sometimes I like to just get up and dance and stuff like that. And that is my idea of like moving around. Other people may want to run and stuff like that. Sometimes I'm too lazy to do that. Sometimes I might eat. Sometimes I might want to, you know, get a little high or something like that. But I recommend doing something that involves you being physical because, then that's a little bit better. Or like swimming, you know what I'm saying? Even like cooking hasn't been that big of a chore for me anymore. Like actually, literally 3 weeks ago, cooking was a chore for me. But now, if I put on a good podcast or some good music, like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I just need to get a cutting board and then we'll be good to go. Okay, we'll be good to go. All right, so I think I've talked so long in this video. Something that doesn't necessarily apply to me though, but I did want to bring it to y'all's attention just so you can be aware of this with Mars and Cancer. For men, Mars and Cancer can make men extremely aggressive, sometimes abusive. So just remember that. Unfortunately, I don't really like to say this proudly, but Chris Brown has Mars and Cancer and he's a Taurus. Like, I'm not like in the best company when it comes to that. And like, I'm not happy to state that, but it is. And we know how Chris Brown acts with the ladies. So just be mindful. If you get a dude with Mars and Cancer, they may be abusive because they may have mommy issues and issues with women and like negative experiences with women, or they can like overemphasize their masculinity and it can become this whole toxic masculinity type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And the same goes for women, especially if you're a woman and you're queer, like particularly if you're a lesbian and you have relationships with other women, y'all gonna be fighting. Like y'all gonna be throwing hands. If one of y'all got Mars and Cancer, and this is just what I hear from, podcasters and people who say, people who identify with being a lesbian and stuff like that, they're like, oh yeah, we fight. And it's no better than straight people fighting. Just because, both people are of the same sex, that don't make it right. Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? So just be careful if you, have that type of energy and you're a lesbian and stuff like that. You just, Mars and Cancer, you see red. There's no other way to describe it. It is like you have to protect your energy. You have to protect your space. You have to protect, your family and your emotions and your security and your comfortability. And sometimes in that moment, in that instinct, you feel like you need to be violent. I don't know any other way to say it, you guys. But yeah, so we're going to throw in the towel with this Mars and Cancer rant. This is clearly a rant because I have been talking for damn near 48 minutes. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this. You got something out of it. I have plenty more rants up my sleeve. This is going to be very random when I talk about like random placements, because after I do the planets in the houses series, after that's through, I think that it'll be interesting to kind of hear about the placements from a different perspective, especially if it's from personal experience or somebody that I know, or relating it to a celebrity or public figure or something like that. So you have like a direct, thing to correlate to, because I like to correlate astrology to real life. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but we're all about combining the spiritual with the reality. Okay. Like that is the dichotomy of my life. Okay. So I got sun opposite ascendant, opposite. Okay. I got, my south node is in Virgo. My north node is in Pisces. That's perfect example. Spiritual reality. Okay. We have to merge. We have to find a happy medium. We have to do it. Okay. We have to do it. We have to do it. We are family. All right. So in conclusion, Mars and Cancer is it's a special placement that you really have to kind of master, and at 32 years old, I'm getting there. I'm learning to understand, and I'm working on my master plan. Okay. And being centered and also being passionate and doing things that I am passionate about will ignite that Mars and Cancer. because that Mars in Cancer likes that. Ooh, passion. Ooh, oh, another thing that I'm passionate about with Mars in Cancer, I have to put this out there because it's so important. I'm really proud of being Black. Like, it's a really a sense of pride when it comes to your ethnicity and your nationality and where you're from. Because I always say Cancer does have to deal with your roots. It has to deal with nationality. It has to deal with race. So that is something that I'm really passionate about as well. To be young, gifted, and Black. Yes. Yes. Power to the people. So, like, learning about Black history, a Black American history to be more specific, learning about, the trials and tribulations and understand all of the oppressive things that we've gone through, and like reading all of these books, like I feed off of that. Like, I love that. Like, I love movies and TV shows that come and talk about our history. You know how the people are like, I don't want to see another slave movie. They keep on talking about this and that. I want to know about my history. So I don't want to just see a slave movie just for the sake of it being a slave movie. I want it to be interesting and compelling and really teach me things. Like, Underground was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. Okay. Like, if you've never seen Underground, it is on Hulu. It only lasted for 2 seasons. They canceled it, but go watch it. It's starring Journey Smollett. And it's about, slaves escaping on the Underground Railroad. And it gave me a depiction of the Underground Railroad that I've never known in my life, that I never learned in school, that I never learned. It's just so many intricacies, and I think what kind of started just my fascination and love for understanding Black history was obviously like watching Roots when I was a child. Like, I have the entire box set, Roots and Roots, The Next Generations. When I say I am about that Black history life and understanding all of the intricacies of how, we triumphed, but also all of the ways that we were oppressed, you know what I'm saying? From slavery to Black codes, to convict leasing, to sharecropping, to Jim Crow, to, redlining, to the Civil Rights Movement and voting acts and mass incarceration and police brutality, like all of that. I've read so many books just in the last year and a half on Audible. So I just want to know that that's also something that I'm extremely passionate about. And I wouldn't say that I'm like an activist in that sense, but I always like to gain new knowledge and things like that. I love listening to people talk about issues that affect the Black community and, Black empowerment and reparations. Need peace and reparations for my people. Woo! Okay, that's what Beyonce said, Black Parade. So yeah, I'm all about that life. I'm all about Black joy, Black love, Black girl magic, and not just like about the great things about us, just understanding us as a people. I'm very pro-Black. But I don't feel like it's in a hotepi kind of way. Because, again, a bitch is self-aware. So, I understand when some of these, especially some of these men, these hoteps and some of these hotepstras, they be taking it a little bit too far. I can look at all sides of the spectrum, okay? I can look at all sides of the spectrum. But most of the people that I listen to and follow on YouTube and just in general are Black people, particularly Black women, because, I'm a Black woman and I listen to very intelligent, well-read, well-researched Black women who know their shit and know what they're talking about. And I learned so much. I learned so much. And I'm, recommended so many amazing books that I go and actually listen to on Audible because I want to get a deeper understanding of the situation outside of just this video. All right. So this is truly it because I had to get that little niblet in there because that is a very important aspect about Mars and Cancer, being proud of who you are and where you come from. Hopefully that doesn't make you a white nationalist or a racist or a white supremacist. It can if you white and you have Mars and Cancer. So if you know somebody with Mars and Cancer and they hella racist, it's probably because of that. But, Black empowerment is not a knock on any other race. And people tend to forget that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there, that's a very important aspect of Mars and Cancer, what gets them ignited, gets them excited, and gets them passionate and wanting to do things. Like, how can I help out my people? All right, so we're officially done. My dog needs to go to the bathroom. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. And I don't know if you want to share this long ass video, but you can if you want to. But I hope that you gain some insight into the placement of Mars in Cancer. You got a better, understanding of this placement. And if you didn't understand this placement and happen to know somebody with it, maybe you'll be better at approaching this person and seeing their, perspective on things, and even calling them out on things when you need to, because sometimes Mars in Cancer does need to be called out, okay? Especially on that subjective shit. It is not always about you. Do not take it personal, even though we can't help it. So if you criticize me in the comments, I'll take it personally. But I'll act like I don't care. So try not to. Try to find, the good and the high vibrational aspect of this placement. I hope that I went through it and talked about what needs to be talked about. It's, very spiritual, very much about protecting the energy, protecting the children. We are the world. We are their children, darling. Okay. All right. Officially, I'm done. I'm out of here. See you later. Peace.